My mother and father broke up when I was 10. We moved to England.
How did that affect you?
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the reasons. If I had to self-analyze, when I moved from America to England, obviously you start all over again. You go to a new school, you have to make new friends. And back then, I don't know how long ago that was, 20-something years, whatever. If you're American in England, it was slightly more unusual. And the kids would make fun of your accent or whatever, and you have to learn to stick up for yourself. You have to learn to fight and to be brave. And if I had to be a psychotherapist, if I believed in these things and had to analyze my past as to why I am the way I am, I think the fact that at a fairly young age I was ostracized and forced to defend myself and forced to stick up for myself and was happy to have a different point of view because I knew nobody could pick on me. That probably has something to do with the reason I am the person I am.
I think heartbreak is the most fantastic motivator on the planet. When a lot of men message me and say they're heartbroken, I think that is the most fantastic mindset to be in to achieve things. Because there is that degree of revenge, and there is that degree of vengeance, and that can only be achieved through being so successful, so monumentally important that she can't forgive you. And also, you cannot even sleep, you can't even concentrate, like your whole mind's a mess. That's the perfect time to train. I know what you're saying. I don't think I've been through a particularly bad heartbreak, but I'm saying that.
Who did she leave you for? Did she leave you for somebody where?
No, I don't think I've had a particularly bad heartbreak. I only mention heartbreak all the time because I know it's a path every single young man goes through.
I also think you're not the type of guy that would ever give credit to that person if there was one. So I don't see you saying that because it is a form of a victory over Top G, which that's not going to happen.
Well, that's part of it, but then let's analyze now, right? There's no girl who I've ever been with in my life who can now turn on the internet without seeing my face.
Sure.
This idea of chasing happiness and always being concerned and preoccupied with how happy you are is actually the biggest mistake that a lot of people make, I think, in the world today. Especially men who wake up and go, oh, I don't really feel happy, so I need to get happier. And that's how they end up down a hedonistic path of drugs or alcohol or gambling, chasing pleasure. I don't care how I feel. Yeah. I don't care if I feel happy or sad. It doesn't really affect what I do each day. I do the exact same things. I act the exact same way. I don't care. Yeah. I don't put weight to the significance of the emotion. So I always consider myself a happy person. But if I woke up and I was slightly less happy one day than another, it wouldn't affect anything I do, and I wouldn't put any relevance to it. I'm human, and that's life. And so yeah, am I any happier now that I have hundreds of millions of dollars than before I was broke? Yeah. Not really, but I was never unhappy. I'm the same state that I was then that I am now. I have work to do and I will do it. It's as simple as that. Not enough people look back on what they did and identify where they made a mistake. And some people will do it when they lose, but the true professionals do it when they win. When my dad was playing a chess game, if he won the game, he would still analyze the game and see if he could have lost, where it could have gone wrong, how he could have won faster, what mistakes he did make, what he did well, what he did wrong, win or lose. So many people will sit in a scenario where everything went wrong and go, in fact, correction, not so many people. I would say 75% of people will not ever self-analyze the situation they're in. They'll blame everyone else. If they went to jail like I did, they'd say, they put me in jail because they're liars and the Matrix did it. Fine. True. But when I was in jail, I was like, how did I get here? What did I do? What did I say? Who did I piss off? What institutions want me in jail? What did I do that angered them? Me. I'm taking absolute self-accountability for everything. I'm not blaming anything else, because if I blame everything else, I have no control. If I blame myself, that I can influence it, I have control over it. Usually, the things that made you the best version of you are usually the worst things that happened to you. So the demons I carry from jail, the fact that I can't sleep. The fact that I can't sleep, I've had girls say to me, you can't sleep, you need to see a psychiatrist. And I said, absolutely not. I would be furious if a psychiatrist walked in here and took my demons from me. I don't care if they could fix me with a click, they're mine. And they were bestowed to me by God. And they are mine to deal with, and they are mine to fix, because that's how I become a better version of me. I would be furious if someone took them away from me. I'm glad I can't sleep. Good, I can train endlessly. That's why I'm bigger than I've ever been. I'll train I'm not going to waste a minute. But all the demons that have been given to me by God and all the problems that have been given to me by God are mine to fix. I would never, ever allow anybody else to take them from me. I'd be furious. If a psychologist came in and said I could cure you, I'd say, no, thank you. I will cure myself. I don't care if it takes 10 years. I'll cure myself. That's my job. And I know that when that's done, I will be more mentally resilient than I ever would have been without jail. That's the whole point of it, right?
So many men say, I want to be the man, but they don't want to suffer. They don't want to fight. And I don't understand why, because even if you look at a superhero movie, they tell you, even in superhero movies, they make it very clear. Batman's parents died. That's why he's Batman. All the bad things have to happen. There's no way to get there without the bad things. I get so many emails from people complaining about their bad things, and I don't have time to reply to any of them, but if I could, I'd say good. Good luck. Congratulations.
No, I don't read books because books are slow. And I think the world we now live in today is about speed. Speed is absolutely and utterly important. Everything must be
spans are like this.
Absolutely, and everything must be done as quickly as possible. And Darwin said it, even though I'm not a proponent of evolution. He said it's the most adaptable member of the species that survives. I will change it and say nowadays the quickest member of the species survived. It's not about being the biggest or the strongest, it's about being the quickest, the most adaptable to change. And to read a book is just too many human hours for the amount of information and knowledge you get. So I don't read books. I think they're slow. I think they're a waste of time. I think a lot of it's mental masturbation for people to sit there and say, I want to get smarter, so I read books.
Yeah.
And I talk to these people, they're not even smart.
Yeah.
I know everything about everything because of my life. Yeah. It's been varied and it's been very difficult. And I'm perspicacious and I pay attention and I learn my lessons. And that's how I know everything about everything. I don't need to read books. Yeah. There's not a subject you can name right now where I don't know something about.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed.
Yeah, you name it. Korean War, but anything. You name it, I know something about something. That's just what happens when you get to a certain level of intelligence, because you can apply scenarios and
patterns. It's all patterns.
It's all patterns, absolutely. And history may not repeat, but it certainly rhymes that humanity all acts in a pretty similar way across all cultures. And once you get an X amount of knowledge in one place, you can basically apply it and extrapolate it out to anything. Unless you've suffered and had a difficult life and have a bunch of interesting stories and war stories, all the things we're talking about, all the bad things, you're going to suffer to build a personal brand anyway. If you're born into a rich family and your life goes well and everything's fine and now you have a bunch of money and you try and start a personal brand based on the fact that you have money, nobody's going to care. Nobody's interested in all the good things that have happened to you. And nobody's interested in how nice your life is. Nobody cares. Maybe if you show enough money, you can get some temporary interest, but not for long. The only people who can build a brand off having a perfect life are women. Look, I'm beautiful. Look, I'm in Louis Vuitton. Look, I'm skiing. Chicks can do that because they're physically attractive. Men can't. All the men you can name with truly strong personal brands have very interesting stories. Interesting stories usually involve danger, risk, pain, suffering. Those are the things.
Triumph over.
Oh, exactly. So if you say, oh, should I build a personal brand? Well, can you? And if you can, then perhaps you should consider it. 75% of people blame other people or they blame other things. I lost my business because of COVID. No, you lost your business because of you. I lost my girl because her friends were hoes. No, you lost your girl because of you. And you lost your car because of you. And it's all your fault because that's the only thing that gives you control and power. The other 10%, we said 75, that's 85. No, it has to be much higher. Let's say the other 20%. Which brings up to 95% of the total populace, will look at a situation in which they lose and they might self-analyze and they might try and learn from the loss and they'll try and find the feedback involved in the loss to make sure they don't lose again, which is obviously better than not analyzing at all.
Yeah.
And the top 5%, the absolute highest echelon, are people who are going to analyze every decision they've ever made, win or lose.
To those who want to quit, you are here right now because somewhere deep down, you care. You care about something, about someone, and most importantly, about yourself. But maybe right now, you feel like all the effort, the struggle, and the pain just isn't worth it. You are tired, worn out, and the idea of giving seems like the easiest way out. But let me tell you this, easy is not what you are made for. Every single one of us has faced that moment where quitting seemed like the best option. But think about those heroes you admire, the people who inspire you. Do you think they never faced moments of doubt, moments where everything inside them skimmed or stopped? Of course they did, but the difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent or luck or intelligence, it's persistence. Remember, quitting is a permanent decision to a temporary problem. Life is full of challenges, and yes, sometimes it's unfair, but it's in those dark moments when you feel like you have nothing left to give that you discover what you are truly made of. When you push through the pain, when you keep going despite the odds, you are not just fighting for the success of this moment, you are building the resilience that will carry you through the rest of your life. Every obstacle you overcome is a testament to your strength, the badge of honor that no one can take away from you. So, when you feel like quitting, take a breath. Remember why you started. Think about the people who believe in you, the future you have dreamed of, the person you want to become. Giving up might seem easier, but the regret of what could have been will weak behavior than any temporary struggle you facing right now. You are stronger than you think, and your journey isn't over yet. Every step you take forward, no matter how small, is progress. And one day you will look back on this moment not as time you gave up, but as the time you found your strength. Keep going. Your future self is waiting to thank you.